we still need to bring in more capital into the market across all sectors, not just tech and fintech.
Tayo, thank you so much for joining us here at the Kenyan Wall Street today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here.
So tell us a little bit about Paga.
Paga is a mobile financial services company in Africa focused on solving the access to finance problem. So if you look across Africa, most people are, even if they're banked, still use cash to do transactions. And people do not have proper access to financial services. Nigeria, as an example, has 135 million people banked, but 90% of transactions are done in cash. And people have money in the banks, but it's hard for them to reach it. So what Paga does is we solve this financial stagnation that comes out of this problem. And we do that by taking this dual track strategy of solving consumers' problems for those who are digitally savvy or not digitally savvy, by building out a network of retail agents for those who are not digitally savvy. And for those who are, you can use an app on your phone, right? So we solve and bring financial access to consumers across Africa. So that's the primary business that we do. Now, we set up Paga at a time where we had to build a lot of infrastructure because none existed. And now that infrastructure is powering over 100 companies as well. So we've opened up that infrastructure as a fintech as a service. So that powers over 100 different companies. And those are sort of the two legs of what we do.
Okay, and what geographies are you currently operational in?
Paga is currently operational only in Nigeria. We have a team in Ethiopia, and we will expand to other countries across the continent in due course.
Okay, and when you're considering a country to expand to, what factors do you take into account?
When considering a country to expand into, there are a number of things that we want to consider. One is the accessibility to the right license, right regulatory frameworks. We want to make sure that whatever we do, we are within the right side of the regulators. And then also the openness of the economy to foreign companies coming in, right? And an understanding of the local nuance, because each country across the continent is very different. So for us, it's really important that we have local team members and really understand that we can't just take something from Nigeria and think we'll plug it in Kenya and it works, right? We have to localize it for the local environment. So these are some of the big things that we want to make sure that we do. But before all of that, it's also important that we just know that our business in Nigeria is in a good standing as we scale up that business, right?
Okay. When you were first starting your career, what did you spend your first paycheck on?
Yeah, my first paycheck, I think I bought a car. I bought a Honda Civic coupe. I remember that. Yeah, it's like that was like the first big expense.
Okay, we always get a wide variety of answers. Yeah. We recently met with former CS Joseph Mucheru.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I bought sausages. I bought a suit. It's always my favorite question to ask.
That's awesome.
But a little bit more on the personal side, what is your favorite music genre?
I would have to. My favorite music genre, I actually would say, is it's house music. I really enjoy house music, and that's what I jam to when I'm working. I want to just do some deep work, and I just turn on the Spotify house music blend.
Okay. And what about your favorite food?
Jollof rice and dodo. Nigeria jollof rice and dodo.
Not Ghanaian.
Not Ghanaian. Senegalese. Niger jollof with the bottom of the pot taste in there. Yeah, the party jollof. Yeah.
Okay. And then my last question, what are you hoping to get out of your experience here at the Kaufman Fellows Summit?
There are two things I'm hoping to get out of the Kaufman Fellows Summit. I think the first one is helping the fellows who are not African understand the massive opportunity that Africa is, and specifically Nigeria, as being really the next frontier. And I think that just comes through several conversations with people, but as well on the panel we're speaking on. And I think the second is just to connect with people who might think of investing in Africa. We still need to bring in more capital into the market across all sectors, not just tech and fintech, but across all sectors. And so I'm hoping that myself and other entrepreneurs here are inspirations to all the fellows to say, like, there's a massive opportunity that we're looking at here. And if we don't get it now, it'll be too late in just 5 years.
we're completely aligned with you on that. Tayo, thank you so much for your time.